27 here, and then this is 25 inches, and then this is just edge to edge of the cabinets itself without the overhang. Okay. So what do you think, like a 2-inch overhang, 3-inch or something like that?
Like an inch on each side, or like an inch and a half, or it depends on, I guess, how far your cabinet doors are gonna stick out.
They're gonna be flush set.
Flush set. Okay.
Yeah, inset.
Sweet. So yeah, I'd go like at least an inch of overhang probably.
On each side.
So 7. So that's like exactly where you want to be. You want to be between 7 and 11% moist, and that way you know that the wood's not going to warp or twist or crack any further than it has already. And it's kind of, I don't know, like this piece. This one's like pretty fresh cut, and it's off the charts. So the trick is to dry it slowly if you're air drying it, so that it doesn't crack or split. And then I actually sealed the ends of this to slow down the drying process so that it doesn't crack or split as much. It'll always crack or split, but...
How do you seal the ends?
I just use latex paint, and then it stops the moisture from seeping out of the pores as quickly as it would if it wasn't sealed.
Hi.
Today we are wood shopping with none other than Jesse here from Burnt Brydges Wood Co.
How are ya? And my homegirl Jacqueline.
Hi guys.
What's up?
Yeah. We're looking for wood, and this guy knows about good wood, and he's got some to offer us.
This is the Burnt Brydges barn division where we store all the wood. All the big stuff, anyway.
Nice. So what we're doing is we're looking for some wood, some live edge, something that has a lot of character, beautiful grain, something amazing. Like, as you know, in our build so far, doing some crazy stuff like the floating countertops, the curved shower, and even the DIY skylights for tall people. Everything has its own character to it. And so we had to contact Jesse and be like, dude, tell us about wood. Tell us what would go great for a countertop, what would be resilient to like cooking and having a great time, and maybe throwing some bevies on there. So that's why we came here.
That's why there's a bunch of black walnut here.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
All right, so tell us about black walnut.
Black walnut. This stuff is Canadian Black Walnut from Guelph, Ontario. It's got like a nice dark characteristic to it. It's got some nice lighter colors and some blues and purples too once you get the finish on. It's a hardwood. It's just really pleasing to the eye, and it's just a really rich looking, bold color.
Nice.
It's my personal favorite type of wood.
What's the biggest benefit to going with black walnut?
The biggest benefit would probably actually be the aesthetics of it, but other than that, it's hard, it's durable, it's dense. It's got some good longevity to it too. Nice. Yeah.
Jesse's been so inspiring. Lately, we've been just following his Instagram, just watching it. He's became a local celebrity lately with his mad wood skills. So, yeah. We'll definitely put him in the description so you can follow him. Maybe you could buy something off him. But yeah, we're super stoked. He's our guru, our wood guru right now.
All right, so Jesse, if someone was trying to contact you, how would they do it?
I usually just operate on Instagram right now, and it's at Burnt Brydges Wood Co.
Boom.
I've got an email address on there. I don't have a website yet, but I'm working on that. My brother's making me one, I think.
Boom.
Or maybe these guys. One.
We've been known to make websites, so yeah, might be able to do something.
Yeah, pretty much just Instagram right now.
Cool. So just like Aaron said, it's down in the description.
Already got it. Thanks, Jesse.
I got it.
Not sure if we told you this, but we have a wall that we need to take down. Not really a wall, it's like this cubby that we created that needs to come down because we didn't factor in that we had a fridge. We're going to put one of those big wide roll-out spice racks in here the day that we were sitting on the floor dreaming up our cabinetry. So this right here, it's gotta go, unfortunately, which breaks my heart. So we're gonna take this piece out. We're gonna flip it this way. It's gonna become this shelf and pull this shelf out. It also means we have to take this out, but that's a good thing because the idea is that we'll put a little potbelly stove in that spot. So let's see what happens.
I already did the one in the bathroom.
Kind of sad, but whatever.
2 and that's 1/2. There you go.
Way stronger.
Still human.
Instead of like.
Good job.
We did it.
All right, so we just made it back from wood shopping with Jesse, and we brought a few pieces back.
We got wood!
Yeah, we got wood. This wood is thick. It's about 2 inches thick. It's black walnut. Got a beautiful grain. It's nice hardwood, which will make a beautiful countertop right here in our Skoolie kitchen.
It's so pretty.
What'd you just
so
do?
excited. I just took a chisel and I just knocked off a little bit of bark. But look at this, the way that the colors line up. Oh, I'm so excited. What a beauty. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make a countertop today.
Oh yeah!
Let's go. Hi.
Okay, so we've already laid these out just kind of roughly to see where we want the grain to line up on them. We've got to join them together because it's not a solid piece. These are just a few end drops that our buddy had. So we're like, yeah, let's just make this work. It's gonna be super, super cool. So now we're gonna square up some of the pieces so that they fit. This particular section will fit on kind of that L that comes out right there in the kitchen area. And then we get to cut in for the undermount sink, and then also reconfigure this piece because it's a longer piece to be able to account for around the sink and around the built-in induction cooktop.
Yay. We ended up buying a 60-tooth saw blade because we realized this one was only a 25er. Which was why, likely, we had a hard time cutting through our windowsills that we did for the curved skylights. We had one heck of a time cutting through that hardwood. So we were a little bit, not nervous, but I guess we were a little bit nervous about like how the hell are we gonna cut through this beastie beauty. So we ended up getting a 60-tooth saw blade. Wish us luck. Is that what you were wanting to do? Just kind of square up this corner?
Yeah. So it's 23 1/4. Because the piece is kind of cut kind of like this.
Mm-hmm. So that goal is to make it about 23 1/4?
Yeah, so we would go straight to that edge right there.
Yep.
.23 and 1/8 would be going from that corner to right there. And then that would make this piece perfectly square. Perfect.
Yep.
Oh, let's cut it.
Okay, cut. Got a depth set.
Unplug it before you depth set, folks. Oh, that's barely gonna cut through. That's perfect, just the teeth are coming through. So we'll go as deep as possible. I don't know if, this is not gonna work, going as deep as possible. If you go through here, the motor's hitting there and it can't go like that.
So you made a new saw track. What's that called?
Yeah, made a new saw fence so that the motor could clear, because when the foot was all the way up so that we can get the depth of the wood, we're hanging out about the length of the carbide tip below the wood, which is perfect. but that's as deep as it'll go because this is 2-inch material. So now we're able to get another straight piece of plywood, mark the 2 lines. It's about 5 inches from the inside of the blade and the outside of the foot so that we can just follow along. So I'll show you what that kind of looks like right here. So if we were to pull it back and the foot's flush. Now we got a little tricky thing going on is our line goes in line with this little edge here. It looks kind of like a deer hoof or something. So we don't want to damage this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plunge cut into this and then roll it backwards just a little bit. And then we'll finish that with a handsaw or something. And then we'll roll forward and try to get as much of this cut as possible before we release that clamp. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Didn't even nick that deer's manicure or pedicure. That's great. That's pretty damn close right there.
Oh, it's almost square. Perfectly square.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So now what we do is we measure from this corner to this corner because this is, let's see, this is 23 1/8.
Perfect.
And then this corner is 24 1/8. So we'll measure this down to
23 1/8.
Yeah. Biscuit. So right now we're basically just marking out our mortises. We're gonna use a kind of a mortise and tenon sort of thing, but we're gonna use these biscuits that we made. Oh, I love biscuits.
We love biscuits.
Biscuits and jam, jeez girl. Biscuits and gravy, shoot.
I'm actually gluten intolerant, but it's fun to say biscuits.
Basically that's what we're looking at there. Yeah. So found our center line on each one of them, and then I mismeasured the first line, so we're actually going with that second line, and basically we're gonna notch that out a little bit and get that biscuit sunk in there like that, and then we'll use a little dowel through there to suck the joint together. Might work.
Hope so.
I don't know, we'll see.
Looks like it should.
Hopefully. All right, so off the center line, we're gonna find the 1-inch line and draw a line, and here's the other line right there. So now we go to the 1-inch there, draw the line there, and there's our 1-inch there. We'll draw that line there. We'll grab our little scribe set to 3/4 of an inch because it's 2 inches. The biscuits are a 1/2 inch thick. So if you go 3/4, 1/2 inch, and then 3/4 inch, that equals 2 inches because it's 2 inches thick. So that'll center these perfectly. And I'm basing it off each one. The first measurement is directly off of the same plane as the other one. So the top is what I'm going off of because we need, if the tops are all aligned, then that means that the depth will be fine, generally speaking.
That makes sense.
Cool.
I guess unless the board has like a mega warp or something.
Yeah, well, these are pretty nice, so.
So then biscuits.
So them biscuits gonna be good, girl. Got a little bit of wiggle room, maybe about 1/16 of an inch, which is nice. So the key here also is that scribing the wood will help define the boundary of the hole. This one should be a little interesting because it's got kind of a crack there, but that's all right. We'll fix that with epoxy later. This is just to join the two pieces together. It'll be bomb-proof, like most of our projects.
We're making a center line so that when Brian sets the rusty old drill bit on there, that he's got a place to see where the center is.
That one's called a paddle bit.
Paddle bit. Here's the holes, and then we're going to chisel out the rest of the meat in that.
Nice. Look at that.
Oh, yay! After hours of chiseling, the biscuits fit in the holes. Isn't that exciting?
Oh yeah!
I love it! Cool!
Hopefully our bar clamps are long enough. Oh yeah, good. Another relief. I'm just gonna dry fit it with the bar clamp because I'm gonna check levels and stuff like that.
Yes.
Soon to be a circle dowel.
We got ways to go on this one. All right, let's go.
Still got a ways to go, babe.
Scrap wood.
Scrap wood. Mortise Pro.
Yay!
Nice. I'm gonna put these, so those are, I'm gonna just leave those there for a second. I just tapped them in, tap these in.
Tap me in the lid.
So they're nice and flush. And then now, I'm gonna pull this in.
Last time I helped him, now I'm just holding the camera.
It's pretty snug as a bug right there. We'll go in and put the dot.
So Brian's just putting an indentation in the middle of each biscuit, and he'll do it on each side.
Because of that little pointer Rooney right there. You can't really, you could do this with a normal drill bit, but this is gonna give us a pinpoint spot.
Dead center.
Dead center. And here, let me make sure that all of those have a pinpoint. Good. So now we'll pull this apart. So now each one of these biscuit has a dot on it.
Okay, so it's each biscuit on this side.
On this side.
This side
Yeah.
has a dot.
Yep. So now we're gonna move that dot by 1/16 of an inch.
Which way?
Let's see. Actually, I wonder if this one, yeah, this one does need that. So we want it to get sucked in when we pound it. To get sucked in, the dot would need to move this way. Yeah, this way. And then it would move that way. Yeah. So.
We kind of stole the idea of the mortise and tenon, so we'll see if this works.
We didn't steal the idea of the mortise and tenon.
Well, biscuits already existed, but this is the special mortise and tenon.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
So we kind of we combined them. We didn't steal the idea. We just combined the two joints.
Yeah, the two types of joints. There's our original dot, and I moved the dot to here so that when we pound the peg in the hole, it's going to pull this wood in by just a hair, theoretically. We will see. So now,
time to drill some holes in the biscuit.
yeah, we could either use that or just set up the drill press with a 1/2-inch bit and just punch them nice and straight through. That might be the best option. I'm gonna call this the A side. So this will be A, B. Oh, that already has a C on it.
Look at that.
Look at that. So now we're going to mark a line on the dowel for where it is going to, once it bottoms out. Does that make sense?
Yep,
That way we have a visual, okay, we could stop now.
it's far enough.
Yeah,
Cool.
and we'll do that for each of these.
The bottom out zone.
They still line up. Oh
Wow.
yeah.
Clamp it up, make it nice and tight before we mark our second set of holes. Right, Brad?
Yeah.
I know what's up. Marking the dots.
There we go, got it apart.
Moving the hole over by a 16th.
So right there, actually we need to, let's see, we need this to suck in, so we need to go a 16th on this side of the hole. Yeah, towards the center. So let's move it over. That's about a 16th right there. And
Go.
there we go.
All them biscuits got holes now.
There we go. So feeling on the bottom, I'm just making sure that there's not tear out, so not like any splinters hanging down that would get caught up because that was a pretty tight fit. Now we're gonna blow off all the dust and get this other side butted. Theoretically, we don't need the bar clamps.
Theoretically.
Theoretically.
Because we have the
The mortise and tenon with the draw in place. Mortise and tenants. And its tenant.
All of its tenants.
So ideally, you use the same sawdust that you used that comes from the wood that you're working with. Hot tip.
Then the color matches.
tighten it yet. It's because I need to get the other one underneath it first.
The goal is to make this flat so there's no gap.
Flat-ish.
Ish.
Yeah, see that? Nearly flattened it out, so I'm gonna crank on this for a second. There it goes. It went up. Okay, there we go. So I just released a little bit of pressure, so look, when I tighten it, watch this spot right here. See how it just bowed up?
Yeah.
So let it down just a little bit because I want this edge and that edge over there as level as possible. And we're gonna do the same thing on this side over here. This side's actually good.
Cool.
There we go. I'm happy with that. We'll just let that rest as is. And I guess one of the biggest struggles is when you don't really have a level surface. This was kind of a table that we put together real quick with a pallet on the bottom and some old plywood. Works for a work table, doesn't need to be nice, but it comes with a price.
You like it?
I love it. I love it. Want some more of it?
And as always, kids, it's time for iPro! Ear Pro! Glove Pro! Yeah! It's hard to believe that we're gonna cut this beauty, but we are. That's the next step.
Yeah, this is where the pucker factor starts setting in, because now we've got to notch out this countertop that we've already started assembling.
And making beautiful.
Because this part here is where the undermount sink is actually going to be sitting.
So what Brian is measuring off here is the opening to the sink.
Yeah.
So we're gonna cut that out, and then we'll be able to figure out the front part of the counter that goes the long way in front of the sink, and then the long piece that goes behind the sink, and then all little pieces that go in between.
Fun!
I haven't been nervous for a while. I'm
What's
not
up?
that nervous.
You're not that nervous.
I'm not that nervous, but I got Math Man on my side.
Math Man! With a Math Man, Math Man's got a plan.
There it is.
There is the first cutout. That is solid. Holy smokes.
Nice. That new Savley did a good job.
It did real nice. Did real nice. And what's cool about this drop that we just made is that the grain is going long, so this will cut up real nice for dowels.
Ooh, not biscuits.
Oh, biscuits also. Oh, girl, we get biscuits out of this too. But I was gonna save the biscuits for that other one. Pretty dead nut. I've got to leave room for the pencil tip. Safety first, kids. So this has become a complicated piece just because we're trying to maximize the amount of wood that we have. First off, I'd like to say thank you to Aaron for making this a complicated piece. I was just going to have like very simple, oh, this is straight and this goes to straight and this goes to straight, but we've got these beautiful live edges that we want to work with, and we potentially want to incorporate a little bit of live edge epoxy work to the cracks in here. And we also have an undermount sink that has to go in here, along with a flush inset mount induction cooktop that needs to be placed as well, with the proper spacing so it spans the drawers that are going to be in the middle. You're going to see how it all fits together here shortly. But we took this piece of wood here, this black walnut, and we've cleverly sketched out a design, and frankly, I just hope it fits. We'll see. If it doesn't, then I don't know. We'll just make it work. We'll just keep working at it till it works.
And blame it on Aaron.
And we'll blame everything on Aaron. Like I always say, measure 6 times and cut once. Well, we've measured a lot and we've squared it off, and I'm pretty confident with this, but YOLO, let's go. So this is getting interesting. These are not square to each other. This side is raised and this side's not. So we might have to get clamps to clamp both of those together to flatten them out.
So we're gonna cut this little joining piece right here instead, because this side is higher up and this side is lower. So it's cocking the foot of the circular saw, so it's making it kind of like a diagonal cut instead of a straight perpendicular cut. So our edge would be a little wonky. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut this little piece off with the little jigsaw, and then later we're gonna cut this edge nice and flat.
That piece is still raised a bit, but I think that if we cut this piece just right here, then we get rid of that raised little edge, because that's not gonna really do us any good.
Brian said I can cut the end. You ready?
Yeah, are you ready?
I'm ready. I did it!
And you did it really straight. Good job.
Holy ninja! Look at that. Induction cooktop.
Also 68 3/4, right on the line. So that gives us a straight line now to put our ruler device. And trace between the two lines. Our tenon will be somewhere in there. Yeah, 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 yeah. There it is. Nice. Look at that drop.
This is like everything I ever wanted to do is in sculpting wood.
That's cool.
That is so neat. Hardly touching it. I'm literally just like doing like little gentle swipes across the top of the wood. When I was doing this kind of bottom edge, I like pressed a little harder, but hardly at all. Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. Get it together, Garcia. Where are your gloves?
Oh, There we go.
Pretty good.
Good job. Oh, perfectly half an inch. Nice.
You were worried?
I love it when measurements add up. Or subtract. One of the two.